How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with a, new brewery time. Not technically new brewery time in the form of Frequentem. Yeah, Frequentem. This is their Cali lager. I assume it's probably a California Common, I believe. Maybe not. We'll see what's what. I've had Frequentem before, but I don't know if I've actually posted a review on my channel from them. The boys from FLX, Dan and Mike, FLX Beer Reviews, came down for PeerTuber Palooza, and Frequentem is a brewery that is close to them. And I had some of their stuff there. I might have even been off camera just drinking, and I actually dug what I had. Lo and behold, I go to record a podcast the other day. Keith comes along, and he gives me 2 cans that Dan sent them. I believe Dan? Mike. No, Mike sent Mike? Mike. I believe Mike sent them to him. Anyway, Mike sent them off a bunch of cans of Frequentem. Got like a t-shirt and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to do a review. So, Cali Lager. 5.1%. California Common. There you go. Keep cold, drink fresh. I dig that label. 2-part label. Simple. Nothing too crazy, but I dig on it. So we'll see what's what. Yeah. Oh, okay. I know California Commons can be a little bit darker. I didn't expect it to be this dark, though. So I'm kind of curious to see how this one kind of plays out. The other beer that Keith bestowed upon me was an alt beer. And that's kind of what this looks like, to be perfectly honest with you. Kind of alt beer vibes. Yeah. Label. Awesome, like I said. Beer-wise, I mean, it definitely has this kind of, just this, rich, dark, kind of almost like barley wine-like kind of vibe to it as far as coloration goes. Even on the head, you're looking about just a bit over an index finger of a really nice cream, kind of just north of khaki, south of malt ball, coppery kind of color to it. It actually looks quite rich, quite dark, and then it just has this beautiful, soft little kind of unfiltered kind of haziness to it. It's kind of like what beer would look like back in the old California Common days. So, might be a little bit darker from what I remember, but that could be me just drinking a lot of a lighter California Commons. Again, it's a darker beer, or a error towards darker beer, not a dark beer. Yeah. Kind of excited. Let's see if we can get a nose. I mean, there's a big bready caramel note in here. I mean, it is very rich. Reminds me very much of alt beer. Let's put it that way. Not that alt beer is over the top, kind of big and bold, but there's a lot of similarities between a California Common and an alt beer. So there's a rich, bready kind of caramel note here. Definitely not like dessert level kind of bigness and kind of sweetness, but something a bit more richer, something a bit more bolder. There is a soft little tannic tea, like almost spicy kind of hop to it, but it's nothing too big, nothing too aggressive. And this comes off as actually a quite nice kind of malt forward kind of beer. You sit here and tell me this is like, a lager beer, I'm not really getting lager vibes off of it, but it is giving me a nice, rich, kind of delicious kind of malty component. We're malt forward here. We're dealing heavily into some malts, which is a beautiful thing to smell. Let's see if it's a beautiful thing to taste. Cheers. It's delicious. It really does show up as a lager in the taste. Or I should say more mouthfeel than anything else. There's a little bit of lager yeasty vibes, but it really is this crisp, clean, super ultra drinkable, but at the same time, kind of nice, kind of malt forward kind of beer. Has a really nice bittering that's not heavy-handed. It gives you the soft little bready spiciness, a little tea-like tannic kind of spiciness with that bready kind of maltiness, that little bit of caramel vibes, crisp, snappy kind of drinkability, but at the same time enough mouthfeel not to leave you wanting. It's actually a more session beer. If it wasn't as spicy hop-wise, I would call this a session beer, but it just comes off really drinkable, really tasty. Very, very well made. That's probably the biggest thing I want to kind of lean into here as far as what I'm kind of experiencing, is that to get this level of richness and malt forwardness out of a beer, but to still stay really kind of super drinkable and stuff like that is a hard trick to pull off. So I really kind of dig it. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic, well made California Common. Like I said, a little bit bolder, a little bit richer from what I remember. It's been a year or two since I've had one, I believe. No, Manskirt had one. Regardless, few and far between. And this does come off a little bit richer, a little bit bolder, almost leaning into kind of like Baki kind of territory with extra kind of spiciness. But at the same time, it's a really tasty beer, really well done. And like I said, can't emphasize enough, it is really well made. There's nothing as far as flaws or any kind of off flavors here. It just ends up being a really tasty, really well done beer. Is it one of the better California commons I've had? I mean, I would default towards that because there have been so few and far between. I like them, just not a lot of people make them. In general, it is, though. Probably up there, if not Mount Rushmore status, just because it's a really well-done beer. I'm really curious to see how that alt beer kind of comes off. Valued availability on this, I have no idea. Keith, or better off, Mike, let me know what you paid for this. I'm kind of curious. Perfect world, this is sitting right around that $12 a 4-pack, but, a little bit less would be even better, but hopefully it's in that kind of vein. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like rich, well done malt forward lagers, you want a little bit extra spiciness, you want a little bit of richness. I'm gonna sit here and say this is like a BJCP kind of level, like perfect encapsulation of California Common. I don't know. Actually, I couldn't tell you that. I don't think it is. What I can tell you is a really tasty malt forward kind of lager beer. If you're into those kind of things, you'll dig this. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Keith, again, for sending us off 93 Lumber, if you don't know. Down there, if you want to talk about it, especially if you've had this beer before. Like I said, I'm digging on this. I'm going to crack the alt beer shortly. Put them both up at the same time. So let me know if you've had these beers or anything from this brewery and what your thoughts are. Yeah. Massive beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif, podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Frequentem right now. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.